Hey, can you not step on my fleeces? Hi friends, Sydney from Slow Formations here, and today I'm going to be doing just like a standard issue fiber art podcast style video. So talking about recent finished objects, whips, and acquisitions. And I'm going to leave out a lot of my spinning whips only because we are mid Tour de Fleece right now, and I will be covering a lot of those projects in separate Tour de Fleece videos. So with that being said, I'm going to get started with some recent finished objects. The first being these 24/7 socks. As you can see, they are already being well worn. They say knit, sleep, and eat, repeat on them. So knit, sleep, eat, repeat. I added the contrasting toe as a modification to this pattern, and I think I used Cascade Heritage for the white base, and I'm not sure what the black is. I'll have to look at what I used and I'll try to remember to link it down below. But I talked about these in one of my recent vlog videos, and I didn't have much left to finish at that point, and I got them finished. I love these. They're my first colorwork sock, so not a whole lot. Not my first colorwork project ever, but I knew I wanted to make these from the first time that I saw them, and I finally felt confident enough in my sock abilities to make them. Of course, the color work is a little bit tighter than the rest of the sock, and I'm actually very proud of how this looks. I'll flip these inside out. It was my first time doing ladder back jacquard, which I think some of them I didn't do great, but overall I'm very happy with my floats. Yeah, you can see some of like the ladder back pieces, which I honestly, I don't know if those look right or not, but yeah, very happy with these socks. I am taking a bit of a sock break over the summer, and I'm like resisting the urge to cast on some new socks, but I am going to try and focus on other things over the summer. But yeah, 24/7 sock by Lisa Meissner. Let me check the pattern. Lisa Meissner, I believe is how you say that. Very easy to follow pattern. It was my first toe-up sock. It was very easy for me to understand, and it contains reference pictures and explanations of like all of the skills needed for the sock, and I would highly recommend that pattern. And so the next finished objects I want to talk about are some self-drafted patterns that I made on my knitting machine. So I'll start with the top, and I'm super proud of this. I will try to insert a picture here of what it looks like on, and as you can see, I even have matching pants to go with, and again made on my knitting machine. Has little bows, Acorn bows on the bottom. These pants I actually, well, I added the bows when I finally decided on what I wanted for the top. So I guess these technically were just finished, but the bulk of the pants were finished probably like last year sometime, and I just wasn't sure. I knew I wanted a matching set, but I just wasn't sure what I wanted that to be. So the pants, I have some short row shaping in the back, so you can see that the back sits a little bit higher. I have the folded hem with some elastic in here. I think it's on a 1 inch elastic band, and then also folded hem on the bottom for the pants, and then pretty standard increasing for you know, the front and the back for shaping pants. And then for the top, everything was done on my machine except for I did double knit finishing on, you know, the neckline and the sleeves here. These I-cords I also made on a little I-cord machine that I have, a little crank machine, and then folded hem on the bottom. The double knit edging was kind of an afterthought. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do to finish them, but the double knit edging finishing definitely took way longer than I wanted it to, but I think the result was well worth it. I think it just looks very clean finished. Of course, I have my little slow formations tags on it, and this set is available on my website. I am selling this set, although I do like it on. It's cute. I just have like a weird thing with keeping my knits sometimes. I'm definitely a process maker, and so I don't necessarily always keep everything, but if this is something that doesn't sell, I might wear it sometime. We'll see what happens. So that's all I have for recent finished objects. I made the cutoff beginning of June, so I think that's all I have was those socks and that set that I made on my knitting machine. And so we will talk about some of my whips now. So the first thing I want to talk about is a vest I'm making from this cotton fleece. If you've watched some of my previous videos, I've talked about this a couple times. I originally made a swatch on my knitting machine, decided I didn't like it. I made a swatch for hand knitting and decided to move forward with hand knitting a garment for this. I did originally buy this yarn with the intention to make a black vest, and so that is what I am doing. I actually am following kind of the same structure that I made for this knitting machine vest that I made because it fits me very well. I should have adapted the construction so that it wasn't all separate panels, but I am just thinking about that now as I'm working on the back panel and have the front panels finished. But this is one of the front panels. You can kind of see, but it's honestly like the same exact construction as that orange vest that I finished, just obviously hand knit and not made on my machine. I have these on live stitches on DPNs right now because I plan to do the shoulder seaming with a 3 needle bind off, and I am currently in the process of making the back panel. So with all of these panels, I'm doing it bottom up, which I know is like the most hated. I am doing this the most hated way ever, bottom up and paneled, because I'm insane. But it's honestly been nice. I take this project to the gym with me and I work on this when I'm walking on the treadmill. It's kind of replacing my socks project. So having the separate panels has actually been really nice because it makes it more portable and lighter and just easier to be like a transportable project. And once I have this back panel done, I'll of course seam the shoulders together, seam the sides. I did do some short row shaping. You can tell the very slight slant there, so I'll do a little bit of short row shaping on the back panel of this, so it should fit quite nicely. And once I have everything seamed, I bought these buttons on eBay, so I plan to do a little mix match button moment. And similarly to the machine knit Similarly to the machine knit cardigan I just finished, I do plan to do a double knit button band and have the button holes incorporated in the button band there. So making good progress on this project, and I look forward to having it finished. The only other knit whip that I have right now is my Elizabeth blouse by Petite knit that I started. Again, I mentioned this in one of my fiber art vlogs. I was winding up the yarn for this, and as you can see, I made pretty good progress on this. So I have the double knit collar finished. I have all of the raglan shaping done. I am currently working on the double knit little well, it's not a button band because there's not going to be buttons on it, but the double knit detailing kind of at the V-neck there. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I am knitting this with Zen Garden yarn, I think is what it is, in the color Acorn, and I am alternating skeins as I knit this up, so to try to avoid any harsh color changes from the different skeins. I don't know if the variation will pick up very well. Oh yeah, see, it's beautiful. It's like brown and green and like yellow. It's just like a perfect color palette. I love this. So very excited about this. I know it'll be kind of slow moving. Like I said, it is Tour de Fleece right now, so spinning is kind of taking a priority right now, but I am taking breaks to work on my knitting projects as I feel like it. That's all I have as far as knitting whips go. I do have several spinning projects in flight. I'm not going to talk about them here because I will be touching on those projects and some of my Tour de Fleece updates since we are mid Tour de Fleece right now. Of course, the last part of this video I want to touch on is some of my recent acquisitions, which this is the part of the video I'm most excited about, and the main reason why I wanted to make this style of video is because I have, I think, 4 fleeces to talk about, as well as a new piece of like spinning fiber prep equipment that I'm very excited about. So if you've been on my channel before, you may have seen that I recently went to a fiber show and I did buy 2 fleeces there. So I really wasn't anticipating to buy any more fleeces this summer, but 2 of my friends, actually one being Raina from Wild Offering and then one of my local friends, April from Tupelo Acres, they were both like, hey Sydney, I have some really nice clean fleeces that I think you would like. Would you like to have one? And obviously I can't say no. I love a beautiful fleece. So the first one I want to talk about is this Romney that I got from Raina. Here is what the locks look like. So this is of course raw. I feel like I can probably end up getting these pretty close to white. It's a pretty nice staple length too. So very excited about that. I got 2 pounds. So I have this whole bag here. And so yeah, I bought a Romney fleece. I'm very excited to process this. I don't necessarily have any plans for it yet, but I'm very excited to have the opportunity to wash it and spin it and kind of get a feel for what I think the fleece wants to be. The other fleeces that were recommended to me were some alpaca fleeces from April, and so like this is one of the bags, and I have no idea how much these weigh. I have not weighed them yet. This is the other, but I did wash quite a bit of this fleece the other day. So this one that I washed, let me pull some out here. So here is the white alpaca fleece. So tips are a little bit dirty, which I feel is to be expected from an alpaca, but overall very low vegetable matter, very clean, super soft. We actually met up, April and I, she had I think 25 fleeces, and we unrolled them all because they were still like in the complete blanket. We unrolled them all, looked at them, felt them, and these 2 were the ones that I picked out from the batch. And so here is some of it after I had washed it. I think I just did this a couple days ago, but pure white, like beautiful white. So I'm very excited to spin this. The white alpaca washed up super easily. I did use a little bit of power scour in the wash, only because I knew I wanted it to get very true white. Typically you don't necessarily need power scour with alpaca because there isn't any lanolin with alpaca, but it can help to just get it a little bit extra clean. The other alpaca fleece I got was this nice fawn color. Again, beautiful crimp, beautiful color to this. I haven't started to wash any of this up yet, but it is so pretty. Like, oh my gosh. Look at the little crimpies on that. It's so nice. It's so soft. I'm thinking I might end up doing some skeins where I apply the 2 colors together. I definitely intend to leave the colors as they are. I'm definitely a natural animal color girly. I just think they're perfect like the way they are. I'm not like huge into dyeing fibers yet. I have like all of the dye materials, but it just doesn't speak to me the same way that the natural colors do. So I definitely intend to keep these as they are. I'm not entirely sure what I want to make from them. I haven't knitted a ton of garments from alpaca, just given the amount of drape that they have. I know that alpaca doesn't have any elasticity, so you have to be kind of careful what you make from them. If you have a garment or accessory or any kind of knitted item in particular that you love with alpaca fiber, I'd love to hear in the comments below, because I'm just not exactly sure what direction I want to go with these, but I'm very excited to spin them. Last fleece that I got, I think it's a Jacob. My friend Lauren, she found someone local that has a sheep farm, and I think they have Icelandic and Jacob sheep. And she got an Icelandic fleece. I just pretty much told her I want a fleece that has multiple colors to it, which makes sense. I would have ended up with a Jacob. So here is the fleece. Like I said, I'm pretty certain this is a Jacob fleece. I'm not seeing the like double coat that I would expect from an Icelandic. It is very greasy and it has a little bit more vegetable matter than I would totally pick out, but the fleece was only $15 and the colors are very pretty. And once I am in a space where I have the patience to work with this, I think the end result will be very pretty. Last but not least, my final acquisition is a 5-gallon salad spinner. So if you are someone that processes fleeces, I mean, even if you are a knitter or any kind of fiber artist and you struggle with waiting for things to dry, I've been having my eye on a salad spinner for the longest time to help get out excess water to cut down on drying time. Lovely boyfriend bought this for me for my birthday last month. I have been wanting one for quite some time, and I know he's been on the hunt for me for a while. So it's finally the year that I got it. I don't know why I hesitated so much to buy one myself. Normally I'm the type of person where if I need/want something for a while, I just eventually buy it for myself, but these are pretty expensive for just being like a bucket of plastic. So I did use this when I washed that alpaca fleece recently, and I feel like it worked pretty well. It did definitely get some excess water out, so I am looking forward to using this for more fleece processing and maybe use it for like when I'm blocking sweaters, trying to get excess water out. And yeah, very, very excited about my salad spinner. That is all the updates I have for today. If you're interested in seeing what I end up doing with any of those fleeces, I do plan on recording vlogs for that whole process for all of them. So please make sure to subscribe. I also will be posting updates about my current spinning projects and Tour de Fleece. So I will be posting videos about that in the near future here. I'd love to hear in the comments down below what you're currently working on and what the rest of your summer plans for crafting are. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!